And there's a very interesting study that just came out, front page of the New York Times 2 or 3 days ago. A black economist named Roland Fryer said he was angry about the death of Michael Brown, angry about the death of Freddie Gray. So he thought he would look into how often police officers use deadly force against blacks compared to how often they use deadly force against whites. He said the result was the most shocking of my career. It turned out officers were less likely to use deadly force against blacks compared to whites. 20% less likely. More likely to put their hands on them and use lower forms of resistance. Now, he didn't say anything about the why. He just talked about the what. But I'll tell you the why. Having known a lot of cops. A black suspect is more likely to be belligerent for all sorts of reasons. And they don't want to take it to DEFCON 1. They don't want to pull out the gun. So they're going to use lesser forms of restraint so they don't have to end up shooting. So if anybody has a right to bitch, moan, and whine, it's a white suspect. White suspects are white people account for 10% of the violent crime, but are 50% of the people who are shot by cops. So if you are a white suspect, you are 1.7 times more likely to be shot than if you're a black suspect. But beyond that, it is rare for a cop to kill somebody. There are 300 million people in America. According to the Washington Post, 965 people were killed by cops. Less than 4% were white officers shooting an unarmed black man. By contrast, 400 people were injured by lightning last year. So you're just twice as likely to be killed by a cop as you are to be injured by lightning. We ought to have some perspective. So the bottom line is, if Donald Trump tells the truth about